podcast. This is Court.
And this is Ashley, and we are coming at you live from Boston for a little Sunday recording session.
How's your Sunday been treating you? How's your week? Actually, we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've had a busy little weekend. Friday night, I had to work late. I had a release night, which I've kind of grown to love, a Friday release, because it happens once every 3 weeks. But I was telling Joe, we ordered tendies from Beantown Pub. We cuddled up. We watched a movie. Like, it was such a vibe to just stay in. So that was great. And then Saturday, we went down to New York, Poughkeepsie. Drove down separately.
Oh. Why?
We got into a huge fight.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
I couldn't take you seriously at all.
We did drive down separately, though. Dan and Kim were flying in from Virginia, so they needed their car. So Joe drove their car down. I drove mine down, and we drove back in mine.
Oh, nice.
There was so much traffic. We were in the car for like 4.5 hours. I wanted to die. I've been listening to an audiobook. It's called This Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Have you ever heard of it?
You sent that to me for some reason. I didn't know why.
Oh, I meant to send you Goodreads.
Yeah, you did. But like that specific book on Goodreads, I'm pretty sure is what you ended up sending me.
Oh, okay. I meant to send it to you because I was trying to add friends and the app is like super weird. So I was like, let me just send it to Courtney. So it said share, but oh, interesting. So yeah, that's the book I'm currently listening to on audiobook.
How is it?
It's okay.
The book or the audiobook?
The audiobook just has such a well, you guys just listen to an audiobook.
Yeah.
Is it a monotoned voice?
I just hate the woman's voice that's narrating.
Yeah, it's just, and mine's kind of old school. It's like 1776.
No.
And I'm like, it's kind of old. I think if it was newer voices, younger voices, it felt more present day, because then maybe it would feel like a podcast. I don't know. It's okay.
Should we become audiobook readers and really spice up the audiobook game?
I don't think anybody wants to hear our voice like that. We already get hate for it.
Well, listen, I'm hating on these audiobook voices, okay?
Honestly, true.
They put me to bed.
Yeah, I know. I was driving and I was like, I gotta shut this off. Like, I'm gonna fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, tragic.
So, all to say, we went down, saw Joe's family, and then came back this morning at 6:30 a.m. I've never gotten ready so quickly. I went straight to a bridal shower an hour north of here. It is just far too much driving for my liking. But now I'm back. I actually feel really good seeing you chilling on the couch. We swapped out our chairs for the couch today, and it feels right.
It does.
But in the move of the couch over here, guys, first of all, everybody, I feel like, has one of these large mirrors. Mine is like the iconic one from IKEA that somehow was only $120 way back in the day. I've had it since as soon as I moved out of college. I don't even know if you can get it anymore, and if you can, they're probably sold out everywhere because they're so ridiculously cheap. Yeah. So I go to move it to bring the couch over. The mirror fully falls. Not only does it fall, it falls on our glass coffee table.
Guys, it was the scariest thing because Ashley puts the mirror against the wall, turns around so her back is turned to it, and she's like walking to me, so I'm watching the mirror start to fall over, like literally on top of her. Like, I thought she was gonna go kaplat, like into the ground. Like, I thought she was gonna get smushed. I was like, Ashley. Didn't know what else to do.
Yell.
I just
saw Courtney's look of fear, and I was like, what? And then boom, you just hear this really loud noise.
And did it hit you at all?
Not at all.
Damn.
I don't know how. It also somehow didn't break.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a nick in it now. Yeah. In the center of it.
But it should have shattered.
Yeah. And it fell on top of a glass coffee table. Like, one of them should have shattered.
I'm just so confused.
Yeah. But it's quite terrifying. Happy everyone kind of lived to tell the tale. There's no glass in Ashley's water, which we were fearful of.
Oh my God. Yeah. So obviously our waters fell over. They were on the table. Everything's leaking.
Oh, the water fell on the table with the equipment, but somehow the equipment didn't get wet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what's just freaky Freaky
Friday. But I go to take a sip out of my water bottle, which has a glass straw, and I got like a tiny shard of ice. And for a second, I was like, am I about to swallow glass? But then I inspected the straw, and it was all good.
Yeah.
That happened to me once. Those glass straws, you kind of have to be careful.
Yeah.
Especially with the ice and in a metal Yeti or something.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful out there.
So that was my weekend.
Yeah. Similar to my weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So to catch you guys up really quickly, I was in Napa for my first ever work event.
Oh, yeah. We haven't podcasted since then.
In like 2 weeks. Yeah. So I hosted my first 7-figure founder retreat. So super high level. It was 60 female founders that have reached that milestone in their business. It was a week of like mind, body, and business programming, wellness sessions, all these amazing things. And so I was working from like sometimes 6 a.m., sometimes 8 a.m. to literally like midnight every night, like producing the event and hanging with my team. And it was the first time that my team all got to meet one another in person, work together. And it was just like true bliss, like could not be happier and more like energized for this role. And specifically if you're in the event space, don't know how many of you are, but like it doesn't seem real until the day of the event. It's like you work for months and months and months on like these nitty gritty things. And like, it just seems like a lot. Sometimes you can get like, what am I even doing this for on those terrible days, which happen infrequently. But when you actually see it in real life, like see the magic of like the attendees loving it, like you personally just like, I don't know, just being there, it really makes the world go round, and it like makes me so excited for what I do. So that was amazing. But all to say, I was there for a week. I had a crazy schedule. And then I flew in, got into Boston at 3 a.m. on Friday morning. And then at 11 a.m., I drove 7 hours to
insane
Matt's family vacation at an Airbnb at a lake in New York. And so I get you with the travel thing. Like I don't want to be in a car longer than 4 hours, never mind 7 hours. Luckily, Matt did the driving and I kind of knocked out because I was exhausted. But I had a cute little family weekend. Matt's sister just announced that she's pregnant. Obviously, the family knew, but she wanted to wait till it was like 3 months to tell everybody. So I like helped her with the gender reveal and like a baby announcement. It was so fun.
The videos that Court made for it are so cute and so precious. And yeah, my heart was so full just watching them.
Yeah, it was awesome. And she particularly had a hard time getting pregnant, as unfortunately a lot of females are in this day and age.
Yeah. We're told our whole lives, like, don't get pregnant, careful, you can get pregnant from the one time you have sex, be extra careful. And then you go to actually try to have a baby.
And it's a whole ordeal, hard. And it's terrible. Well, you know what's sad is people are like that, and the first time they accidentally forget to use protection, they end up getting pregnant. And then there's other people that have dreamt of being a mom their entire lives and can't get pregnant. It's just like quite terrible. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that another time. But yeah, so that was a super happy weekend. And then we drove back on Monday morning, like this past Monday, a 7-hour car ride. We woke up at 4 a.m. to drive back.
That's just crazy of you guys.
Like truly crazy, but you know, I'm here for the vibes. This past weekend, very chill. I needed a very chill weekend, so I went to Rhode Island and I spent some time with my mom. We didn't have great weather, but it was kind of nice to just like chill.
No, so jealous.
Chill.
And for some additional context, I know you guys will be listening a couple weeks after, but we're about to go into 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
So I am just so excited. Do you have Friday off? Oh, yeah.
I'm taking Friday off.
Okay, you're taking Friday off. So I'm also taking Friday off. I have a half day on Wednesday, but Joe and I are heading up to New Hampshire on Monday. So we're going to be working from like a full week up there.
I'm so jealous.
And then we're coming home because I have jury duty. Get out. Next time you guys, next time you hear from us, I will have gone to jury duty, so I'll fill you in because...
Are you allowed to fill people in?
So this is just, I'm planning on not getting picked.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they pick me, we're going to have a problem because I have plans. I'm a very busy girl. It's also 5 minutes away.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Courthouse right here. So I'm going to walk over, like maybe I'll look cute. I don't know. Like, should I wear a blazer or something?
No, you should look like you... Like they don't want you on jury duty. Okay.
Well, I feel like they'll talk to me and I'll just come up with some answers.
No, unfortunately, I fear that you're the perfect person for jury duty. They're going to pick you up so quick. They're going to be like, perfect. You're on a 6-month case. You literally can't leave the state of Massachusetts. How terrible.
You know, I'd be like, okay, great.
Yeah, great. No, I'll coach you through it.
Okay.
I have some tricks from people in the past that have somehow gotten out of it.
Okay. I'm like, I want to say, jury duty, but like, I can't lie. I'm a little excited.
You're here for the drama.
What is this about? Yeah.
I don't know.
I literally got the summons in the mail. Like,
That's
it just felt
crazy.
so I don't know. I've never been in court before.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, so to be continued.
Wow.
Maybe I'll have like inspiration and I'll be inspired to like
become a lawyer.
Yeah, I'll go to law school.
No.
In another life.
Another life. Not in this life.
Not
with
in this
me.
life.
No, I can't have a friend like studying super hard. I can't do it.
You have a boyfriend that studies
exactly.
super hard.
I can't have a best friend that does the same thing. What would I do with myself?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Shall we get into today's episode?
Yeah, let's do it. Today's a kind of a fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one because it's very relevant to our lives at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to talk about kind of the chapter that we're in. It's like you turn 26 and the world says, oh, there's going to be engagements.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be invited to all these weddings. Maybe you're going to be in some weddings. You blink twice and there's babies popping out. Everywhere you look, somebody's pregnant, somebody's engaged, somebody's at a wedding, or minimally you're a wedding guest.
Yeah.
It's just that season of life.
Yeah.
And we're not quite there ourselves yet. So it's just almost like a weird in between. One of my best friends that I grew up with, she's on baby number 3. And I was like, that's so crazy. We came from the same place.
Yeah, exactly. And you were once on that same page and now everyone's just in their own worlds, in different books, not even different chapters.
Yeah.
And it just makes you introspect, and sometimes you feel like you want to rush things. Other times you're so happy with where you are. And yeah, I think it's just important to like talk about and be super open about how you're feeling, because I feel like it can get, I don't know, just like stressful.
Yeah. It can be stressful. It can also be fun. It's just like a lot. So I feel like even there's jealousy a bit.
Yeah.
There's judgment.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many things.
Seriously.
So many feelings around these exciting life milestones. But it's just weird being on the outside sometimes.
Totally.
Or beginning to enter this chapter.
Yeah.
We're going to listen back to this in a year and be like, wait, oh my God, this is the season of life. Everybody's there. Like, but I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Starting out.
It's weird to know that like something is on the horizon and you don't like, you know that those milestones are likely going to happen for you, but you don't know how, you don't know when, you don't know with who. And that's exciting. But then it also is like, oh my God, like, should it be happening now? Should it be happening 5 years from now?
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot of question marks, but also ultimately like a lot of excitement.
Totally. So we just like listed out a bunch of points to go through. Honestly, random thoughts that have just like come to my head when thinking about these topics. So I feel like it makes sense to maybe start off with, what's the ideal season for a wedding? Yes. I feel like we're kind of in the thick of quote wedding season.
Yeah. We're at the point where a lot of people's summers are like dictated by weddings that they have to go to, or bachelorette parties or bachelor trips.
Yes.
I don't have a crazy amount of weddings to go to this summer, but I feel like everyone else around me does.
I relate to this topic so much because I had a baby shower a couple months ago. I had a bridal shower today. I just got back from a bachelorette trip last weekend.
Yeah.
Joe was also on a bachelor trip. Plus we have 2 weddings back to back in August. It's just one thing after another. And I've never had this before.
Yeah.
Ever. So never mind to be invited to 2 weddings. Like, let's not forget, last September was my first ever wedding.
Yeah.
So it
happens all
just,
quick,
just,
also quick.
It just feels so fast now, out of nowhere. And to be in a wedding, and not only me, but also Joe's in a wedding.
Yeah.
It feels like an extra amount.
Totally.
Yeah.
Are you on par? Like, do you think summer weddings are like the best? Do you think that's the best season to have weddings, or attend weddings, or how do you feel?
I don't know. Can we go through the seasons quick? Okay.
Yeah.
Spring, I feel like is no. Like, it's probably going to rain.
Can I tell you something?
You want to be spring?
No.
Oh.
I got invited to a wedding for this upcoming April on my birthday.
Oh.
How dare anyone?
So rude.
So rude. So
are you going?
TBD.
There's no way you're going on your birthday. But there's also no way that Matt doesn't let you go.
Exactly. So I don't. TBD. TBD. TBD.
Okay.
And that's all I'm allowed to say about this.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We won't dig into it
Yeah.
anymore. But yeah, spring doesn't give, unless it's like the end of spring.
Yeah, like
early summer.
early summer,
Maybe
yeah.
like a May when all the flowers are blooming.
Yes.
That could be nice because then it's also not too hot.
Okay, my parents got married Memorial Day weekend.
I feel like that's perfect.
Yep. May 27th And it wasn't on Memorial Day, but it was Memorial Day weekend. And so it like gave a reason for everybody to get together, but it didn't intrude on like the Memorial Day plan.
Yeah.
And they had great weather.
Yeah.
But still, in the Northeast, it's like very up in the air. Like it's June right now. It's about to be July, and we have some days that are 60 degrees and some days that are 90. It's just so iffy.
It's true. So summer, I do weather-wise, and just it's nice to wear a dress.
But then, do you want to be sweating?
Well, no, I can't. There's no way I can get married in the summer.
Yeah, I would have to get married like late spring or like late summer, almost fall.
Yeah. I see myself doing a fall moment, probably. But, so I think September is such a beautiful wedding month.
Yeah, it is. And that's why it's probably the most expensive month.
That makes sense.
I think May, June, and September are like the peak most expensive times to have a wedding.
That makes sense. Also, I want to mention my bucket list item. I want to go to a New Year's Eve wedding. I think that would be so much fun. I hate New Year's Eve plans. How fun to get dressed, like a black tie.
Yeah.
Maybe like city vibes for a wedding.
Yes.
It would just be so fun, and it would be the best New Year's Eve I've had, personally.
I feel like as a bride, you can get so fun with what you're wearing too.
Fun.
Like a girl from my hometown did this a couple years ago, and she had like a shimmery like silver dress for her after party, and it was just
so glam.
It was so different. I thought it was really, really cool. One thing that I have to say though about a wedding period, and I know it's easier said than done per se, but there's nothing worse than having a wedding in like a random fucking town.
Yeah.
Like having to travel this whole way, and there's literally, I wouldn't even say there's like nothing to do there outside of the wedding. Like that's fine. If it's in a beautiful place, great. But like if it's just in a random hometown of somebody that you have to travel to and like stay overnight in, and the only hotel options are like Motel 6 or like a Marriott that's like, I don't know, like I don't know how else to say it, but it stinks. Like when there's a shuttle that takes you to from the venue to like the one hotel in the town, and then say we need to like drive to our hotel because we're not staying at that hotel, we got an Airbnb and we can't get an Uber anywhere. Like it's just, there's nothing worse than being in a remote location where it's like not a fun place to be in to begin with.
I feel like you have to think about that, especially if you have a lot of people traveling to the area.
Yes.
I think it's a little different if you're probably inviting most of like 80% is the people that live around. Perfect. Totally. They can go home after.
Totally.
But 100%, you need to think about, okay, where are the guests going to stay?
Yeah.
What activities are they going to do, especially if there's nothing to do in the town?
Yeah. Yeah.
More things
It's
to
a lot
plan
of
for.
It's a lot of pressure on the bride. It truly is.
Where does one get wedding guest dresses?
Okay.
I feel like people are always looking for a good wedding guest dress.
Yeah. My favorite thing is to ask friends, honestly, to borrow, because it's stressful when you have so many things lined up and dresses are so expensive. And I have literally borrowed some of my favorite dresses I've ever worn from friends. Like I borrowed this Love Shack fancy dress that was like $500 from a friend. That was awesome. On that same like similar sentiment, Nuuly I think is awesome. But if you want to buy, I found success in Reformation and Anthropologie, especially during the summertime. But I feel like if you're looking for a dress, it's easier to find over the summer or springtime as opposed to during the winter and fall. So if you really know you have stuff, I feel like it wouldn't hurt to like buy something when you see it and even save it for an event that you have coming up, because it does get stressful if you wait till the last minute.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You were with me. We were shopping at Nordstrom and I found a dress and I was like, oh my goodness, this would be so cute. I have nothing to wear this to at the time, but I'm going to wear it as one of my wedding guest dresses in August.
Yeah, but that was so rare because it was during February. Yeah. Was it on sale? Probably not.
Yeah,
it was on sale. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean,
it was sale for what the dress is.
Yeah,
it's still like way too expensive. But it's also, I forget the thrill of having something in your closet and like you can't wear it yet. Usually whenever I buy something, I wear it immediately.
Yeah.
So having a special dress kind of just makes you excited.
100%.
So I think as I'm entering the season of weddings in my life, I'll start to pick up dresses along the way.
Totally. Okay, so I have only gone to a singular bachelorette party before for a cousin when I wasn't even old enough to drink. So I can't really speak to this, but you just went to a bachelor trip yesterday. What were your thoughts? Was it a vibe? Like, were there things that you would definitely do for yourself? Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah, so this was obviously my first bachelorette. I loved the chillness of it. We just got a gorgeous house right on the beach. And even though I didn't really know any of the girls, I was kind of nervous about that going into the weekend. Girls are girls. Like, I don't know the last time I went on a girls' vacation. Bachelorettes are literally just a girls' weekend.
Yeah.
Like, yes, of course, it's surrounding the bride, but at the same time, it's just, we're all giggling and having fun. Like, it is so, so, so fun. But I couldn't help to think, there are so many rules around brides and bridesmaids and bachelorettes. Who pays for what?
Yeah.
Is everybody split? Is the bride paying for herself? Are we paying for the bride? Who does those like goodie bags, right? I always thought it was the bride, but sometimes it's the maid of honor that does it.
Yeah.
What's supposed to be a surprise? Does the bride plan her bachelorette, or is it usually the maid of honor? Like, there's so many different things. And as somebody who's never been to a wedding, how am I supposed to know? Just through the grapevine?
I think that it should be a conversation between the bride and the maid of honor as to who does what. Like, I think some brides would expect, like, I would love for you to do all the surprise elements. Then there's going to be other brides like you where you might be like, no, I want to be in control of what's going on. Yeah. But I think there's like wild expectations and uncertainties around the paying thing, because it's so different. It's not something that's standard, like, or universal across every single situation. It really is, like, and I think it's up to the bride to say, like, I really don't want you guys to pay for anything, you know? And if they don't say that, I guess assume until she's like, please don't pay for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so awkward, honestly.
It's so
anything
awkward.
Financial is so uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable. Especially asking like all of your friends to pick. And are you picking up everything? If it's a destination, are you paying for the place to stay and the flight?
No.
I feel like the dinners make sense.
Yeah.
We need like a big sister right now to be like, okay, girls, this is what you do. I've been to all my fair share of bachelorettes, and here's the protocol.
Okay, if it's a destination, people are flying out to it.
Yeah.
I think that the bride should almost like not pay for their flights, but pay more for the Airbnb, or pay like entirely for the Airbnb. It's like a thank you for them coming out there. And then when you're there, I think the bachelorettes can take turns as to like who picks up what. But ultimately, when I'm the bride, I don't want everyone to pick up everything for me, because I'm just so appreciative of the people that traveled to come out to celebrate, you know?
Totally.
There has to be like an equilibrium. I don't think there's a right or wrong either. I just think it's up to the bride.
It totally is up to the bride. When Joe went down for his bachelor trip, thousands of dollars. More than when we spend on like our romantic vacations. Yeah. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's really a lot.
Things are just getting out of hand, I think.
Yeah. And so I'm not looking forward to that point in my life when people start inviting me.
We're going to be broke.
Guys, don't invite me. I don't want to be a part of your bridal shower, or not bridal shower. I don't want to be a part of your bachelorette party. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not. I'm not.
It depends.
Actually, I take it back. I would like to be there for the bachelorette as an option. I don't really want to be a bridesmaid. I'm like, I've had like I'll be the maid of honor for my sister. Maybe I'll be in your wedding. I'm in my current wedding. I don't need to be in anymore. Yeah. I'll join you for the bachelorette, and that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to have like no bridesmaids except for you and Morgan. And maybe I'll do like a fun little bachelorette weekend where I'll just invite all my girlfriends. Yeah. I'm like, so easy, so fun. If you want to come, you can. If you don't want to come, you don't have to. Yeah. But because they're not a bridesmaid, they don't feel obligated to go.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, hey, girls' weekend.
Totally.
Be there or don't.
I think that takes pressure off too, when I was having a conversation with one of my friends from home, and she was like, do I invite this person? I don't necessarily want to, but if I'm inviting this person to be in my party, I kind of have to invite this person. And I'm like, wait, it is like your everything. You should choose who you want to choose, and you shouldn't feel obligated to invite anyone. So I think the approach that you just explained kind of alleviates that pressure.
Yeah, totally.
And so I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think we just all need to normalize, like, what's going on with these bachelorettes, the bridesmaids. Like, what is it? What we need to set the expectations.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God.
I'm excited to talk about this because I've thought about it a lot recently. Getting engaged. Everybody's getting engaged right now. Obviously, the first thing I'm doing is zooming in on the ring.
Of course.
What cut did they get? What color is the band? I need to know immediately. There's not enough cuts out there for me to be different.
No.
And for somebody who hates to be the same or even similar to anybody in this world, what am I going to do?
You're going to have to go vintage, babes.
Like, what even is vintage?
I don't know. There are certain...
They all look the same. I'm going to be so honest. They all look the same.
No, but the problem is when you do something different or vintage, it's not timeless. So that's what I've been trying to do in my search.
Right.
You need to find a balance of not too trendy, but different, classy, and timeless. It's just, how?
Yeah, I don't know.
And you know what sucks for me again?
Yeah.
What's messed up for me? I thought I found something slightly more original a week ago. Girl from college. Same fucking ring. I'm like, perfect. So here starts the trend of this thing I thought was original now becomes trendy, and now I'm just another basic bitch out here with the same ring. I did it first. I'm not engaged yet, but I did it first.
No, but you did it first.
I did do it first.
Yeah, you did it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. And
Yeah.
I feel like once I do get engaged and somebody else gets my ring, I'm going to be pissed.
Jail.
Return it. Return it and get it off of your finger.
That's mine.
That's
How dare you?
Mine.
How dare you?
No, but seriously, you're gonna share a ring with so many people.
Yeah.
There's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And thankfully I'm not at that stage because, you know, as this all starts happening, I start thinking about a ring I like. And now, in this moment, reflecting back, hate that ring that I liked a year ago.
Yeah.
So who the heck knows what I'm gonna want? So I have a little bit to figure out something that nobody else in the entire world has.
Yeah. But
stay tuned.
You out of anyone could find that.
I will.
Yeah.
No, and I will because I must.
Yeah.
It will be my life mission.
I can't.
Yeah. You're kind of getting to that point.
Am I?
Well, you have your ring picked out. Some other bitch has it, which is jail. She's going to jail.
Jail.
I'll see her in the court of law at my jury duty.
I can't. Yeah, guys. It's crazy. It really is. I'll start off with saying I have a problem.
It is a problem.
It's a problem. And let me backtrack. Let me give full context to this problem. Matt and
I can't wait for Matt to listen to this.
No. I'm so scared for him
Matt,
to listen
love
to this.
you.
He's going to be so upset, even more upset. And he's never going to propose to me. No, I'm kidding. Okay, starting from the beginning. Matt and I started dating 2.5 years ago. Matt, there's an age difference between us. He's 9 years older than me. And at the point when we started dating, all of his friends were getting engaged. They were getting married. Pretty much all of them are either pregnant or popping out kids now. So the second we started dating and his friends and family had realized that I was around to stay, that they loved me, immediately, when is your turn? What's like, when are you guys getting engaged? Like, we cannot go to a family function starting from 2 years ago without those types of questions being asked. And so our default answer in 2022 was 2024.
Yeah.
And so that seed was planted, and oh my God, guys, we're in 2024. And to back it up even further, I have always been someone like deep rooted down, just been so excited to be a mom and specifically to be a young hot mom.
Yeah.
And so when I met Matt and he came into my life and I realized that he was the one for me, it was just so easy to get excited about the future together. And so here I am in June of 2024, and my ideal time frame to get engaged is a month ago.
No, is yesterday.
Yeah, no, I'm exaggerating, but I just think that I'm getting closer and closer to that step. And I am becoming an absolutely crazy individual in the sense that I can't stop like thinking about it, kind of bringing it up to him. He's kind of getting pissed because I'm bringing it up, and I think it's ruining his plan. And I think guys are under a lot of stress when, even if he is not close to it, I think in listening to little things that I say here and there might scare him, like, oh my goodness, am I doing the right thing? Am I planning the right thing? Like, I just think there's a lot of pressure, and not even taking into account like what's going on in life, like busy schedules. It's the summer. This man has a bachelorette trip. This man has an exam in 2 weeks. Like, it's just a stressful time, like a stressful, very high pressure, like milestone that's going to happen. And so,
and you're not being considerate.
And I'm not being considerate. No, like quite literally not being considerate at all.
So my question to you is, you know it will happen.
I know.
So what's the problem?
I don't know what the problem is.
So what is
it's
going
all
on?
consuming. I think it's because I am not in control.
Is there like I feel like you don't even like to be in control though.
No, but I just think it's weird knowing that something is going to happen soon, but not knowing when it's going to happen. I hate surprises, although I really want to be surprised for this moment. And I'm ruining the surprise.
Women are impossible.
We're literally
You just hear her? I hate surprises, but I want to be surprised.
I know. Terrible. Terrible. I don't know what to do. Someone help me.
Just stop.
No, I can't. I literally can't. But literally this past weekend, I was with my mom and my aunt, and I told, like, it's just such a natural topic of conversation because everyone is excited. It's a fun time. Like, it's so exciting. So my aunt was like, oh, or actually I brought it up this time because my aunt asked Matt if it was happening anytime soon when I was not around. And he came home to be like, your aunt's asking me questions about it. So I brought it back up to her when we were together. And I was like, he told me that you asked, you got to shut your mouth, like whatever. And so I don't know, like we were like drunk and kind of high at the end of the night, and we FaceTimed that, and I just brought it up again because I was just so, I don't know, because we were all there, we were recapping the night, and then I just like kind of brought it up, and Matt was like immediately just like head in his hands, like not happy about it, because I just think it puts more pressure on him on an already like really stressful thing. And even my uncle was in the conversation both times, like in the background of the FaceTime, and afterwards he's like, you gotta stop. I saw it in his eyes. You gotta stop. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm just like literally a giddy golden retriever that's like can't control herself, which is so embarrassing as a 27-year-old girl, 26-year-old. Oh my God.
27, not you aging yourself.
No. I don't know why I did that. Moral of the story is, I just think it's a weird, like, I don't think you understand what I'm feeling because you know it's not happening anytime soon, but I don't know how to stop the feeling. Anytime I try to, like, it just, my mind goes to it. So just to finish what I was saying, my uncle was like, what if you say something one day and he's like, shit, well, I planned this whole other thing, and this one comment that she made about not wanting it at 5 p.m. on a Friday, like now derails and like messes and delays things and makes him question himself. Push it back
and then it months, and then you're like, regardless, you just want to be engaged, and it's so cute that you're excited about it, and I think that's how it should be.
Exactly,
which is wonderful. But you need to just zip your lips, and just enjoy the ride. Yeah.
So we have this whole conversation, and the FaceTime ends. The next day, what do me and my aunt do? We're looking at wedding venues all day. And she's a part of the conversation. Like, it's truly just an exciting thing to fantasize, and I don't know how to stop it. So my message to Matt is
propose pose.
Get on it so my mind can stop. But you know what the crazy thing is?
What?
I'm not rushing to get married. Like, the thought of planning a wedding is my least favorite thing. So I don't know what the rush is.
So what is it?
Exactly. I
get
don't
it.
know. I really just think it's like this deep-rooted anxiety that I need to go to therapy about or something. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, so if anyone out there has any...
Can someone diagnose Courtney?
Can someone diagnose me? Or if
How
you're
can
feeling
she stop?
similar, validate
Yeah.
that I'm not... I shouldn't be mentally instituted.
No, you should not. I think it's cute. You're just excited. You're just taking it a little bit too far.
Yeah. You know what this is? You know what this is?
What?
This is how I would like obsess over Justin Bieber when I was 12.
Oh my God. And
It's
the
like-
trauma's coming out.
Yeah.
Matt, congratulations.
Yeah.
You have topped Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's
And that's
that.
when you know.
That's that. I'm going to stop talking about that for the rest of the episode now.
Okay.
I got it out of my
We have a
system.
whole episode dedicated to this topic.
Everyone now knows how I feel. And that's it. I'm going to
Everyone's
practice.
just going to be like refreshing your stories every day.
I'm going to...
Waiting, you're going to give this anxiety to
To
the
them.
listeners. Everyone's going to be like, well, why isn't it happening?
Yeah. Everybody get the right energy out there. Start thinking, start praying, start manifesting for me.
I can't with this woman.
Yep.
I have a completely different take than you do.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of feeling excitement about this next chapter, I have felt nervousness, anxiety, and even questioning of my relationship. Because when all the people I love around me are starting to talk about these next steps, I'm like, wait, hold on. I don't feel like I'm there. And I don't share that same excitement. And it makes me feel like there's something wrong with me.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, as a girl, should I be like more excited? I never had a dream of a wedding. I never had a dream engagement ring. Like, didn't have the Pinterest board growing up. I didn't watch the wedding videos. Like, it kind of makes me feel, not that I'm broken, but in a way I'm like, am I missing this part of my girlhood? And also, is there something wrong with my relationship that I'm not feeling this way? But Joe and I talked it out, and it's just, we're simply not at that stage yet.
Yeah.
We're just happy where we are, and we will get to that stage eventually, but there's no rush. So that was a big piece that I wanted you guys to take away, that while we are entering this mid to late 20s and everybody around you may be at a certain point in life, it's totally okay if you're not feeling those same things.
Yeah.
And I think it can also apply, like, once you're married, like, you don't have to have kids right away.
Yeah.
Even though everybody will be bombarding you with questions, like, you're on your own timeline and just kind of enjoy your timeline. Like, everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to. Just because you're getting engaged doesn't mean that I also need to get engaged.
Yeah.
While we may be best friends, like, we have two totally separate relationships.
100%.
Like, I don't need to compare myself with the feelings that my friends are having. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with my relationship either.
I think also once you start to see like your friend, not even just see your friends get engaged or whatever, but like as time goes on and you come to Matt and I's wedding and whatever, I just think with time and then seeing people so close to you, like I think it'll just naturally happen when it's supposed to.
I think so
And I
too.
even think of like there's a few influencers I follow that I've followed for years, and people that were just so happy to be together, like Delaney Childs and her now husband Clay, whatever his name is, Clayton, whatever.
I don't know.
Great follows. They never wanted kids. They never wanted to get married. And just this past like 2 years, they just decided they actually do. Like they're at a point, they're like in their 30s and their friends are having kids, and like they've seen the beauty of what marriage could bring. And I think they both had some different viewpoints from how they were brought up, and they were fine to just be life partners forever.
Yeah.
And then their opinions changed, and then they got married and they did the damn thing. And it's just totally dependent on every single relationship, and there's no right or wrong answer. Just as long as you and your partner are on the same page about everything every step of the way, then you're golden.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's such a good reminder. It's so hard to not get caught up in everything and then like compare where you're at.
Yeah.
And be like, where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be married with kids in the suburbs right now?
And the last thing you want to do is like do those things that other people are doing, but not from your own desire to do it. And
100%.
then honestly hate your life.
Exactly. That's the other thing. 'Cause I'm like, wait, but even if I do, you know, in the next couple months, in the next year, like get that excitement urge. Am I like, is that genuine excitement?
Yeah, or is it
just because it's what
people?
I've been seeing?
Yeah.
So if anyone's wondering, Joe and I's timeline, we're planning for next year, but I feel like it's gonna get pushed.
Yeah, you'll see. See, the only thing that you should consider.
I know, we have to be synced up.
Yeah, we need to have children around the same time.
So yeah, Courtney and I have to be pregnant at the same time, at least for one of the babies. It's fine if you have the first one, but then the second one we can sync up on.
Yeah.
But then my other caveat, I told Courtney this the other day, you cannot be pregnant at my wedding.
Yep.
I think that would be
Tragic.
jail.
Jail.
You would be going to jail. But then the other thing that gives me a little bit of nervousness is when you start to do the timeline, like working backwards. It's like, all right, I think I'd like to have my first kid by 31.
Everyone wants to have their kids by 35 at the latest.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and I think our generation and every generation after our parents have just been pushing that back.
Agreed, but I also don't want to be an old parent.
Yeah.
I want to be a younger parent, which would mean right now, which is obviously not happening.
Yep.
So even if you take the 31 number and then you like backtrack it, like I'd like to be married for 2 years, that's 29. I'd like to be engaged for 2 years, that's 27. Like that, okay, that's next year. Like it just is the timeline.
Yeah.
And Joe and I talk about it all the time. We're like, well, we were supposed to be engaged yesterday if we want to be like on that timeline.
Yeah.
And so you kind of just have to not do that and just take it day by day.
This is the thing. My parents had me super late, and so I've always wanted to be a younger parent just because I want as much time with my kids. Like, I want to have way more time with my parents. And so that's my rush. But also, I'm not going to do something just because of a timeline. Like, if it doesn't feel like in an ideal world, I can have like a theoretical timeline that I think makes sense, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to do something just because of a timeline, you know?
Totally.
It's like, consider it. Think of it like a vision board, but don't like, I don't know, don't abide by it if that's not what your life should be, you know?
You also just can't plan those things.
You can't. You never know.
And I feel like that's what's happened. You're like, okay, we're going to get married, then we're going to have our first baby, and then boom, infertility issues.
Yeah.
Like, you just never know. So you have to detach yourself from the timeline.
Yeah. Should we close off on how we should try to live more presently?
Yeah, of course. Okay, once we turn these mics off, how are you going to live and enjoy the current chapter that you're in?
Okay. So something that does work when I think about it is when you think of your life in chapters and you frame, instead of I'm not engaged yet, as this is probably the last few months or the last year that I'm going to be just boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, try to kind of relish in that moment. Or say you are really hoping for a child and you're really excited for a baby, like, lean into, this is probably the last few months or years to enjoy the dink life, like double income, no kids. Like, reframing things that you want and then changing it to be grateful for where you're at, I think is really helpful. And then also this quote of like, enjoy the space between where you are and where you're going. And even just trusting the process. Like, we always talk about that all the time. Like, once you get to one milestone, you're going to be yearning for the next one, and you need to learn to just enjoy where you are now. So just reminding myself of that in this current moment, and any time when any other thought pops into my head.
Yeah, there you go.
I should make it my phone background.
It's hard, but you can do it. I believe in you.
I believe in me too. That closes out our engagements, brides, and bridezilla episode.
We're gonna have like a full like engagement episode.
Plot twist, I get engaged tomorrow.
Surprise.
Well, I'm just so I just admire you and your inability to show me any sign, to have a poker face.
I feel like I've done a great job. I don't think I've given you any indication of anything.
No, you haven't. Which also,
maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't think she knows anything, which is even more of a problem. She knows nothing. AKA Matt's not playing anything. AKA
here she goes, and the spiral has begun.
Okay.
And on that note, thank you for listening to today's episode.
Wait, can I tell you something really quick?
Yeah.
So the toast, I was watching a clip of them.
Yeah.
And they were like, they stopped themselves in the middle of saying, follow us, rate us 5 stars, and saying, that's so pick me. Like, like you're literally begging for people to like subscribe. So on that note, please rate us 5 stars.
We are Pick Me Girls.
Yeah.
Rate us 5 stars. Send it to a friend. Follow us on Instagram. And stay tuned for next week's episode.
Illy, thanks for being here. We love you.
Bye.